Hello, my name is Alia and I'm Egyptian. And as an Egyptian who's spent most of her life around foreigners, I've gotten my fair share of questions throughout the years, as well as ignorant comments I've received about my country, the people here, and my personal life. While most of them were curious and tasteful, not all of them were. The thing is, unless you're immersed in the country's culture and actually come to visit, you might be thinking those exact same things. So here are 10 quick clarifications for now. 1. No, I do not go to work on a camel or ride camels except at the pyramids. Maybe. There are so many different means of transportation in Egypt. In fact, Egypt is one of the rare countries worldwide with a commute bus system you can use just like Uber. 2. This goes without saying, but I don't live in a tent. If anything, the majority of Egyptians can live out their entire lives without ever entering one. 3. Contrary to some really popular beliefs, the Middle East is not its own continent. It actually spans 3 separate continents: Africa, Asia, and Europe. Though only Egypt from Africa is officially recognized as one of the countries in the Middle East, the definition can sometimes be extended to include Comoros, Djibouti, Morocco, Sudan, and Somalia. 4. Following up on the previous comment, Egypt is in Africa, something a lot of people seem to be surprised about. I don't understand why, but perhaps it's because we speak Arabic? If so, did you know that there are 11 countries in Africa with Arabic as one of the official languages? Aside from Egypt, there's Algeria, Chad, Comoros, Djibouti, Libya, Mauritania, Morocco, Sudan, Tunisia, and Somalia. 5. There's more to Egypt than just one reigning dynasty. In fact, Egypt's history can be divided into 5 different periods: Ancient Egypt, Greco-Roman Egypt, Medieval Egypt, Early Modern Egypt, and Late Modern Egypt. I say this because everyone always talks about the Pharaonic era, and as great and as long as it has survived, the country's modern history and architecture have been heavily influenced by the rest. So even though Giza, Luxor, and Aswan are popular with foreigners for the pyramids and other necropolises and ancient Egyptian sites, Islamic Cairo as well as St. Catherine and Abu Mina's Christian Holy City are also considered prominent parts of the country. They, as well as the Whale Valley in Fayoum, are even considered World Heritage Sites. So if things settle and you're planning to visit, be sure to expand your interest. 6. No, I don't just eat falafel. Sometimes I can go months without eating it. Egypt has a really extensive cuisine that goes beyond falafel, which, by the way, the majority of Egyptians actually call ta'amiyya, or apparently green burgers, by pretentious douchebags you really want to steer away from. 7. While we do talk in Arabic, no one uses standard Arabic for day-to-day conversation. Instead, we all talk the Egyptian dialect, which is one of the most widespread in understanding around the Arab world. That's because of 8, as for the longest time in history, Egyptian media has been pretty dominant around the Arab countries. In fact, many considered it the Hollywood of the Arab world, and most actors and actresses who wanted to gain fame and recognition would come to Egypt to give it a shot. While I don't think that's the case as much anymore, since most countries have made leaps and strides with their own content, that still doesn't negate the fact that Egyptian media made the Egyptian dialect one of the easiest for people to understand throughout le monde arabe. Oh, and a very essential 9, I can't emphasize this enough, we speak Arabic, not Arabia, because boy do I get that one a lot. And to end this on a personal note, no, I've never been to the US or any English-speaking country for that matter. I'm just throwing that one out there because, again, I get that one a lot. Anyhow, I hope I didn't sound overtly rude here, and maybe I piqued your interest a little about Egypt and getting to actually know what the country is like. If so, I look forward to seeing you in the next video. One last thing I'm hoping to do when it comes to travel and exploration videos is explain to you which cameras you can and can't use, where you can or cannot film, and whether you can just take pictures with your phone and if you have to pay for it or not. If you want to know more about how I'm dividing the content on this channel or why it's called Mademoiselle Sphinx, I do go into details on that in another video on my other channel, where I mostly indulge my nerdy side. I'll leave a link to that video in the description below. That's it for today. أشوفكم بعدين. مع السلامة.